What it is. I'm your main man, Mikey D, aka Stony Mike, and I am here to give you a nice little Stony reaction. Yeah, that's right. We ain't gonna do no gaming. I'm gonna put that off because I'm trying to work on some things when it comes to gaming. So I'm gonna do you a real nice, long, nice little 710 reaction here on 710 Gaming, and we're gonna get nice and stoned. So if you're inclined to join me, be sure to load it up, roll it up, and smoke it up. Because as you can see, the festivities has begun. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a hateful person. I do not mean this from a place of hate. Most of my jokes are just jokes. No need to get butthurt, no need to get offended. I will tell you this, I am a man of science. And until you can make non-binary make sense, I'm not going to accept that. Okay? Just not going to accept it. I'm going ahead and getting that out of the way, because I know this is titled pronoun cringe or whatever. I'm just getting it out of the way. I don't accept that. It's not humanly possible. If you want to be a human, you can't be that. I'm sorry. Plain and simple. And I think everybody wants to be a human. You have these rights that are entitled to you as a human. If you try to opt out of being a human, you don't have those rights. There's no rights set for you. And guess what? Anything and everything can happen to your ass. Please believe it. So, play it smart.
Nadine, a sex educator.
And I'm Eva, a sex researcher.
I use the pronouns she and her because I'm a woman.
Yeah. Okay. Are they telling this to children? Because they got these little dolls.
And when I was your age, I used to be a girl.
Yeah.
Gender is how you feel on the inside about...
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
This is called indoctrination. I hope this is not a real place, like a real thing. But unfortunately, it probably is. That is not cool. Like, teaching children, sex ed and, like, higher ups is one thing, but trying to bring in sexuality, made up pronouns. Honestly, if I was going to school and I had a friend that told me they wanted to be called they or them in sentences that didn't make sense, to call them a they or them, I'm going to look them dead in their eyes and be like, respectfully, I'm not going to fucking do that. It makes no sense. It's redundant to speak in a grammatically, I want to say retarded way. I really do, but I'm trying to be nice, so I'm not going to say that. But it's grammatically redundant to use that in many situations. So why the fuck would I want to? Why would I want to sound stupid? Like, even if it's just to myself, why would I want to sound stupid? It's just...
Whether you're a boy or a girl, a man or a woman, if you're non-binary, feel like neither or both. People can also be fluid, feel more like female, more like male, based on a different day.
Yeah, so basically those people can be offended at any moment and any time, and they reserve the right to be offended at any moment and any time. I have not ever heard a singular one that calls themselves fluid or non-binary not be offended by some fucking word. Some word out here is just bothering the piss out of them. And you can't do a fucking thing for them. It'll pull your hair out and you'll start fucking screaming. If you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. That old saying is the most truthfulest thing. And with these particular types of people, you give them an inch, they'll try to take every fucking thing. Like, that's just the way that works with these. These are take, never give in any situation. In any situation, they are always the taker and never a giver.
their time. It's really individual.
Absolutely.
Everyone born with a vulva is a girl. True or false?
Or identifies as a girl. Well, not everybody is sure, and that makes sense. But our genitals actually don't determine our gender. So some people born with vulvas can be boys.
Gender creative.
Yeah, that was indoctrination. Totally. Alrighty, so here we have that typical, they have a typical look. See, if you're not paying attention, you can misjudge someone because colored hair doesn't do it. My wife has colored hair. She's far from being one of these people. Colored hair doesn't do it. But if you look for the frames, a particular facial structure that they love to develop on like they love to look at people in a specific way. So there is characteristics that you can look for, but most people who are basing it off of, they usually only base it off of colored hair. Colored hair, you can't go there. You can't go that route. But you can in other things.
Parenting is a better option for parenting than assigning kids genders at birth.
Hey, Davey.
Yes,
If a person doesn't feel like they're a boy or a girl, what do we call them?
they.
What are your preferred pronouns? They, them.
Really? Really? They, them. And here we go with this fucking carrot top. I don't even like saying carrot top because carrot tops are usually brown. Or green if you get the nice ones. The good ones with the stalks on them, always get those. But anyway, yeah. Fuck this. I don't like this little, I don't know what to call it. Troglodyte? Fuck. I don't even know what to call it. It pisses me off. And this one does too. Because this one's a fucking pronoun machine. It literally creates. This is not even a human. This is not a human, by the way. This is another. See, that I told you I would end up showing you more videos of this dumb fucking thing. It fucking is just a creator of nothing but pronouns. It has filled the head of probably thousands of underage children. Because the thing is, there's a lot of parents don't watch what their children are watching on, and they get on TikTok. Now, no fucking child should ever have TikTok. Period. That just shouldn't even be a thing. But unfortunately, it is. And they get on here and they listen to this. I know of a couple of situations in schools where there's a couple of children who are advancing a little bit too far into their own sexuality than they should. And it's brought on by stuff like this, their parents, and there ain't shit you can do about it because it's not your kid, so it's like, whatever, But it's like, you see that and you realize that's the stuff that's going down. There's a whole generation of people who are essentially being, like, their parents are getting certain attention from it. Either, I forget, like, is it, it's like a different form of proxy by Munchausen or some shit like that. I forget what the fucking word, what it is, but it's like they're using their children to be the center of attention, at least in their own head. If they get one singular person to just gratify them for being such a strong parent and helping their 5-year-old fucking transition, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Those are fucking weird fucking people. And this is one of these people that are just as fucking strange as...
It's easy.
Tricksit.
Fuck your fucking... Oh my god.
Allosexual.
They, them, theirs.
They're customizable. Anything can be a pronoun, really.
Neurodivergent.
See? The other dumb fucking thing fucking said it too. It said anything can be a pronoun. That's what it said. I'm going to call these its. I'm dehumanizing the fuck out of them. They don't want to be humans? I'm not gonna humanize them. There's no reason to humanize them. It's asinine to keep playing into these fucking people's fucking games. The best thing to do, dehumanize, ostracize, and fucking let them die. Just let them starve. These people are fucking. They're self-intentional. Like they might as well have taken an axe. Okay, they might as well have taken an axe and took a big chunk out of their fucking leg and completely maimed themselves for the rest of their life. There's no fucking difference in doing this, because this is pushing a mental illness on. A very small portion of humans are born with gender dysphoria. A very small portion, but all of a sudden, a shitload out of nowhere, a whole generation is essentially suffering from such a thing. Unlikely. The only way that fucking happens is if that crazy motherfucker Alex Jones was like legit right, and they are pumping shit into water that is making people fucking feel that way. But I doubt that. And the reason why I doubt that is because I drink the shit out of fucking water. Okay? I drink more water than I do fucking anything else. I got a fucking big ass tea right here, but I drink more water than I do anything else. I drink water like crazy. So if that's the fucking case, what's the problem? Like, obviously it's not real. Like, that whole theory would not be real. Some of these people are lacking attention from their mommy and daddy, so they're seeking it out elsewhere. It happens in every generation. It just so happens this generation likes to fucking transition and chop their fucking genitals off. It's fucking weird. It's strange. It shouldn't be fucking a thing at all. It's not a human thing. It's a very small population, very small, that truly suffer from gender dysphoria, and I am all down for them doing everything they can to feel good about themselves. And 9 times out of 10, those people, they will say they don't believe in chopping off anything. They believe in, getting some, augmentations, whether it's, getting rid of their breasts or getting breasts, or feminizing themselves or, masculizing themselves, but they still don't go all the way out there. They don't mutilate themselves in their lower regions in any shape or form. That is a big problem. And there's no 100% success rate, and you become a pharmaceutical puppet once you do it. There's plenty of evidence of it. I highly suggest never fucking, if you're a transgender person, I highly suggest you never ever doing any type of bottom surgeries. And simply based off of the fact that you will most of people who want to transition don't even like pharmaceutical companies. Why become someone who feeds into them? Why become somebody who has to become their puppet? It don't make any sense. There are plenty of things, and there's plenty of trans people out here that actually show plenty of fucking examples of how to do it without being a fucking dodo brain. That's just putting it as fucking nicely as I can. I don't know any other way of putting it.
Noun self pronouns, animal noun self pronouns.
New pronouns.
So gender
They see,
dysphoria.
they don't want
dysphoria.
I describe myself as agender.
That one didn't even want to be a fucking. See how I said they? It made sense because I was talking about them all, and then when I wanted to single out that one, I said, and that one, that makes sense to use the word they and them and shit. Is when you're talking about a fucking group of people. There's moments when it makes fucking sense, but to directly call someone a they them does not make any fucking sense. It's like to me it sounds disrespectful as fuck. Like I don't even understand why they would want to be called that. it sounds like you're excluding them and who they are as a person. It just does not sound good at all, and it makes no sense. It's grammatically redundant. I can't fucking think of anything better than what I just said that makes perfect sense for it. It's just grammatically redundant. There is no way a singular person is called a they them. Like, you got personality issues, and see, that's another thing. I hate those people who, because look, that's an even smaller population than gender dysphoria, and see, this all boils down to people who are like wanting a mental illness that they just don't have. They just don't have it, and they're wanting it for some reason, and that's what this boils down to. It's fucking strange. And it's a whole generation.
What is androsexual? Genderqueer person.
Homosexuality, bi doesn't really fit.
What the fuck is a pomo? That don't sound good at all. What the fuck? That don't sound good at all.
Wow.
It just don't sound good at all.
And doesn't really fit them. Pan, asexual, etc.
Asexual, demisexual, and cupiosexual.
Autosexual. Aseflux. Asexuality and allosexuals. Neuroqueer.
Gray sexuality.
Yeah, you look like a neuroqueer.
Demisexual.
See, how the fuck did queer go? You used to say queer is like kind of like a slur towards gay people. But how did that become a fucking type of gay person? See, this is where I say they didn't get enough attention from their mommy and daddy, so they're just seeking attention elsewhere. They're looking for attention in any places and every place they can fucking find it. Because it don't make any sense to come up with all these, like, to me, they're look at me groups. They're like, or look at me titles. They're like, there's something dramatic to get attention from other people. It's like somebody coming into a room and just bobbing their head. It's going to get everybody's fucking attention. That's essentially what they're doing.
Dexera is a gender identity that's similar to being a girl.
Let's talk about cupiosexuals and cupio-romantics. Let's talk about libidoist and non-libidoist asexual.
Pangender.
That one wants to talk about all kinds of things because they haven't figured out which look at me title gets them the most attention. That's essentially what they do. I've seen so many of these videos where there's so many of these people who are just creating all these and it's almost very much close to being like the pronoun machine bitch. And I'm gonna call that a bitch because that's what the fuck it is, a bitch. I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be very fucking angry about these people, and the reason why I'm going to be mean and angry with these people is because these people push for legislations that ultimately condemn people for nothing. These people push for legislations that ultimately push for dangers for women or dangers for children. These people always are the front line, force against anything that is traditionally safe for women and children. And I'm just not going to be okay with these people. I'm going to be courteous and nice to them because like I've said and mentioned before, I have gay friends, I have fucking trans friends, but these people are on a normal thinking spectrum. These people, all the people in this video so far, are not thinking at all. If anything, they're thinking only about themselves. They don't care about other people. So all the problems that they're creating for themselves, they're also creating problems for those around them. And that's where I get my frustrations. I don't fucking care for people who are constantly trying to make a problem. I have opinions. I don't enact on them. I don't let nobody else's opinions get me all butthurt. But these people let their butthurt turn into something that's they're going to test the wrong people, because there's a lot of footage of these people, going out of their way to attack people who, they choosing the right ones essentially, but they're going to choose the right one. It's not going to end so great for them. Period. It's not going to end well at all.
Non-asexual aromantic and allosexual aromantic.
Micro-labels, people with penises or people with vaginas, rather than saying male and female or men and women.
Please do not use gender language to address everyone.
James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him.
Sorry, when I heard him, I just wanted to go, wait, everybody always picking on me. From Bloodhound Gang. I just instantly hear, when I hear people having that kind of thing, I instantly think of the Bloodhound Gang. So I may fucking laugh or something, but I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing at Bloodhound Gang, because that pops into my head. Just so people know. I'm not that much.
Brian Laverne, he, him.
Hi, I am Andy P. From Los Angeles, they, them pronouns.
Thank you, Chair. Nick, he, him, his from Twin Cities.
James Jackson, Sacramento, PSA, he, him.
Yeah, that we saw that. It was just a whole bunch of he, him, they, them, z's, zams.
A guy and visiting my relatives. I don't know if you know this, but I am not out to my family. Therefore, when I'm feeling like a guy but I have to present super feminine in front of my relatives, it makes me feel icky inside. Also, gender dysphoria is a bit. Number 2, when suddenly my gender decides to change right before bed. I'll just be vibing, and then it'll be like, binder time. No, Michael, it's not binder time, it's bedtime. Binder time. Number 3, in the
this person can do this all they want, but they cannot get mad at a singular person for not getting their bullshit fucking mentality correct because they're so fucking fluid with it. No. Don't get pissed if somebody doesn't call you the right pronoun, period. Don't do it. Because you're the one who's creating the issue, not everyone else. You are. And then you need to get mental fucking help if this is how you fucking act. Plain and simple. That's not a good appropriate way to be. And that it seems like they're feeding into more of their delusions. And it's not good.
Freaking middle of the day. I'll be walking all happily along. And then suddenly, boom, gender change. No, now is not the time, Michael. I have a day to run. I don't need this dysphoria right now. Most of the time, I won't have the resources or capabilities to reduce the gender dysphoria because I didn't bring along with me a hat or a binder or makeup if it's the other way around. So, it's a bitch. It's a real bitch.
Hi everybody, it's your friendly female alter art. And in today's video, we will be switching.
And see, they say that they're going to be switching. I'm going to say they because this person, if they have multiple personalities, it is they. But this person says they, or that they have, I guess that would be proper. Like I'm still thinking, I'm putting myself in the position of thinking this person has a personality issue. Okay? So, they... no. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not able.
Me and Alex will be switching out who is in front in this video. Now, just as a disclaimer, every system is going to switch differently, and every switch in every system is going to look differently. Just because me and Alex can switch very fast does not mean every alter in our system can switch this fast.
Oh, yep. See, they said the magic word there, alter, because they all love to use that term ever since that fucking show came out on whatever it was called. Where the bitch had all those fucking different personalities. Nobody ever used that term until that fucking show came out. And see, that show, like, inspired a whole bunch of people to think that they have all these mental issues. Like, if you have kids, raise your kids right so they don't turn out like this. So that way, they give them attention. Don't overgive it, but obviously, give them the right amount of attention, because they will seek it in so many forms, and this is just one of them. And it ultimately becomes a mental illness. It becomes a mental illness in itself. It's not what they're trying to say it is, but it's turning into one. There's going to be a name for it. But there's a lot of fake ass people who do this. And they're fake as fuck.
Please give us a like, because I know we're going to get called fake for this. Alright, here we go.
All they had to do was just not say that, and it wouldn't seem so. I'm sorry your dad didn't stick around, my dude, but come on. Come on.
Hey everyone, it's Alex from the A system. The reason me and Art can switch so quickly is because we've been in the system the longest. We've both been in the system since early childhood. We have switched tens of thousands of times. Not all the switches in our system are that smooth. For example,
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
That's not how that works. It's not how that works. And even if you've been in the system for that long, man, I can't stand these people. It's like they're making fun of these people. I don't like it.
the switch between me and Asher is a lot longer than that. Thank you.
People are really out here acting like they...
Thank me, buddy. I'm the last person you want to be thinking. I think I'm going to be exposing you. I don't think that dude... Because here's another reason why. Because there are thousands of them. And I mean thousands of them. And yet again, that's another mental condition that does not afflict that many people. It just doesn't. Same thing with gender dysphoria. That's how I know some of these people have some other kind of issue that's hitting them. And it's more of a social issue and not a, bodily issue. It's more of a social issue with some of these people. Anyway, let's go with this person, see what this person's got.
Can't comprehend they, them pronouns. They're like, oh, but it's plural. Okay, let me put it into language that you can understand. If you're holding 2 fish in your profile picture, it's 2 fish. But you could also only be holding 1 fish in your profile picture, and it's 1 fish. 2 fish, 1 fish. Same word, plural and singular. You're welcome.
As a fat person, I often dread med.
He's fucking retarded. I'm gonna say that. And I'm gonna continue to say that. Because, yet again, it is grammatically redundant to use it. You can't use it you can't use it for singular. You could try, but it just doesn't work. It really just doesn't work. It sounds as if you're talking about multiple people. Period. I don't know how else better to say that than it just sounds like multiple people. Now, hey, if someone truly has, some type of multiple personality issue, I will gladly call them a they or a them, because you're legitimately dealing with fucking different people. But the thing is that is such a small, very small portion of people. I will be right back. My cat's such a wonderful little fucking little being. She's all chill, and she loves to lay down in my jacket because I always wear this one jacket that's got a Sherpa lining, and the Sherpa is just a really soft feel to cats, and she just nuzzles her way up inside of it. She loves it. It's one of her favorite places to be. As soon as she gets comfortable, I'm going to touch her little beans. Her little feet. I think she understands me because she just looked up at me like, don't do it. What the hell? I think she's expecting me to do something because she just keeps staring at me, and I can feel her eyes burning a hole right through the back of my head. Okay. Anyway, holy fuck. I didn't realize what I paused it on.
That's a huge bitch!
Medical appointments because of blatant medical fat phobia. The last OB appointment I went to.
That's a huge bitch!
The more fat phobia for you. I hate that word. Listen, stop turning things into phobias, okay? People make jokes all the time. And ain't nothing wrong with it. Get over it. People used to talk shit about my big ass fucking 5 head. Like it's all about how you handle that shit. And most of y'all are fucking pussies, man. Y'all can't take a fucking joke. Y'all take it like it's a hard dick. Don't fucking take it like that. Take it like it is, man. It's just words, and it's usually the best thing you could do is just laugh along with it. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're coming at it or listening to things from just like a joking perspective, this shit's funny to you too. When people fucking say shit about me, I fucking laugh my ass off about it. Especially if there's any kind of truth to it. If there's any kind of truth to it, then the only thing you can do is laugh. Like, what the fuck? When somebody, because a lot of people like to make fun of my accent because I have a southern accent. So most people are like, oh yeah, you love Irishman over here. And do some Boomhauer shit or some stupid shit, People like to do that a lot. And to me, it just I can't even deny it, man. There's people who cannot hear specific words that I say. They just can't understand it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people when they watch me with the fucking subtitles on. I'm just saying. There's plenty of things that people make jokes about, and I think that's one of the things like that people like to want to turn into phobias. But I'm gonna point something out, okay? I'm gonna point something out that I need to point out. How come every person that gets to a certain size, there's like a fat person template, okay? We're going to call it the fat person template. And if they're white, they all have this face. This is their face. I knew a boy named Cody Pierman, and he had a sister. They both looked exactly like this right here. I know a dude named Tyler. He's morbidly obese. He fucking has this fucking face right here. What the fuck? Is this all from someone from, like, the same genetic pool or something? Like, it's so creepy. That chick from the fucking... Now that she's lost weight now. But when she was fat, she looked like this. The Tammy from the 1,000-Pound Sisters or whatever. Fucking, she looked like this in the face. Exactly. Fucking tell me that there's something that once you get to a morbidly obese size, something happens to your genetic code. I don't know what it is, but something happens and you turn into the same person as another person who's morbidly obese. And it seems like, and I'm only speaking on people who are specifically white, because I've only seen this kind of fat person template and black people but a few times, so I'm speaking off of anecdotes, not legit like a thing or anything. I'm just speaking off of purely anecdotes, and it's not like I'm just questioning it, you know what I mean? Because this is something that you can go and look at, and I'm pretty sure other people have seen this. If I spotted this, other people have spotted this, so I'm not the only person that's seeing this. Something happens to the genetic code or to your facial structure, because if you look at Tammy, now that she's lost weight, yeah, she's got some extra chin shit going on because, she lost a shit ton of fucking weight. But she doesn't look the way she used to. She didn't have this big ass fucking forehead that she had. Like, if you could see a side view of this person, I guarantee you she's got a fucking forehead building. And when I say a forehead, I mean one that's protruding out. Not a big one like long ways or anything. I'm talking about fucking protruding out.
And told me that I needed to go on a medication that made me feel really terrible. This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are.
Why does it make you feel
somehow you can...
Why would it make them feel them? Anybody who is, fat. When I say this, I feel like I have to correct that because I feel like anytime I use that and I just had a singular person there, they'll be like, "See, you could use it," and it's like, but no, you can't. It doesn't make any sense for that one particular person. I'm talking about fat people in fucking general. Because these excuses are used by every fucking person. I just don't understand why.
The provider blamed everything on my weight and told me that I needed to go on a medication that made me...
I don't understand why any of them use that excuse. Like, they told me to go on medication and that made me feel... They all use that. And it's like, why? Why does that make you feel bad? I'm a naturalist, okay? I will be the first to tell you, just smoke you some weed. I'll be the first. And I feel like some of these people can use for just smoking a little bit of herb every now and then or something, I honestly, truly feel that that's the case with a lot of people. But hear me out. I feel like if this person was to decided to just lose a few 100 pounds, they'll start thinking a little bit better. The thing about fat, when it accumulates on your brain, you can't fucking think correctly. You start to be very infantile and very aggressive for no reason. No reason at all. I'm not saying she's being aggressive, but she is being infantile when it comes to the doctor situation. It's just
I feel really terrible. This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are.
Tips on how you can be a better intersex ally. When it comes to inclusive language, oftentimes people tend to use phrases like people with penises or people with vaginas rather than saying male and female or men and women. While this can absolutely be inclusive for trans people, unfortunately it's not always the most inclusive language for intersex people. My advice is to use language that focuses on function and not just form. That means focusing on the actual function that you're talking about, such as people who can get pregnant, people who can get other people pregnant, people who are at risk of testicular cancer, and so on and so forth. This is much more inclusive because there are intersex people who are born...
But it's also going out of your way to dictate how someone talks. For the people who like to call people fascists a lot, they sure do like to use the very fucking foundations of what fascists do. The fascists love to change the words that other people use. They love to change the vocabulary of people, and they love to change the definitions of things. Sound familiar? Sound fucking familiar? These people are just not right. They're not right. I'm only fucking 5 minutes into this, and I have literally spent 46 minutes bitching about this shit, telling people how not right in the head these people are.
With the vagina, but
this one even fucking...
or...
They even make a joke out of their situation. Gender fender bender.
Ovaries or an ability to menstruate. This is because some people that are born with a penis don't have testes.
So it's much more inclusive to say what you actually mean than it is to use language that works around that.
Instead of using the typical mom and dad parent titles, there's actually gender-neutral and non-binary parent titles that exist. It can be hard for parents within the LGBTQIA+ community to find a word that they feel comfortable being addressed as by their children. So here are some examples. Dama, Mada, Maddie, Madi, Mappa, Nini, Nopa, Nori, Opa, Pere, Pom Pom, Zaza, and Zizi. You can find more examples on the website listed above. I would also like to say I cannot believe that 12,000 of you are following me. Thank you so much. I love you.
Binary folks get pronouns that point to who they are, man or woman. But
what in the shit sprinkles is all this over his face right now? What the fuck are you doing, dude? Are you trying to look like a fucking mermaid jizzed on your face? Like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Well, I'm like, what are those? But what is this? What the fuck is that?
If the only pronoun that non-binary people had was they, them, then that pronoun points to what we're not. We're not binary and we're not cis. And since pronouns indicate gender in the English language, if they was the only option that we had, then it could confuse people into thinking that non-binary is a third gender, as opposed to a multitude of gender experiences. And what I love about neopronouns is that they point to who we are. Some of them have meanings that are connected to genderqueer history, and others have meanings that reflect the individual's experience with gender. As our understanding of gender broadens, our language is broadening to accommodate that, because language is a reflection of the way we think.
Alrighty, everybody.
When we get into Casper, the not-so-friendly ghost over here, that entire long, drug-out explanation to nowhere really just further cements what I've been saying. They're mentally off. Most of them are suffering from some type of. I don't think our psychology in America is working so well, because, or at least there's no type of psychological help other than doping these people up and mutilating them, it seems. And mutilating them. Now, a good portion of them get pissed off about it because they realize that they end up becoming pharmaceutical puppets, and they regret it. There's a shitload of evidence of that. You just type in, detransitioning regrets, or not regrets, but transitioning regrets or detransitioning videos. You'll see a plethora of people that I'm talking about. I don't even have to bring those up. But I digress.
Repeat after me. Asexual, pansexual, bisexual, trans people, and non-binary people are 100% valid and definitely part of the LGBTQ community. And if you don't like that, suck my dick.
They're not.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. And I know you're scared. I know you don't know what to do. But I've got you, and I won't leave you. And I love you.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I feel so bad for somebody who has to feel like they need to do shit like this, but then they put it. Always, these people, they always put it on the internet for people to see, which, don't get me wrong, I like to get a good chuckle out of these videos sometimes. But this seems so fucking sad. Why would you be this way? This is not helpful. This is a lot of like faux outward, like letting loose kind of things, but it's not real. Like there's dependencies that are gonna come about because of things like that. This is strange. Strange behavior begets more strange behavior. I promise you. The weirder people are gonna be around them.
I'm so sorry that you're
Oh Lord.
NANI? But it's okay to feel. It's safe to feel. It's safe to cry. It's safe to move through it.
God damn.
Oh, I put it over here.
What the motherfucking
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
The baby has been able to latch, but I've not been able to produce any milk.
No motherfucking duh, you a biological male, you goddamn retard. I am fucking done with this. Oh my god. This is bullshit. How the fucking hell? Man. I need to, man.
Watch your profanity.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to be nice.
It's really causing me a lot of hurt. Trans women can be mothers. We are mothers. I'm your mother.
Listen, you can call yourself a mother all day long. There ain't nothing wrong with that. And there ain't nothing wrong with you. But for the love of God, understand that you can't produce milk. There is some conditions that cause men to lactate, okay? It happens. But that is not gonna just naturally happen. It's not, like, even if you transition, it's just nothing naturally gonna produce there. No matter how many times you try to force it to nibble there, it's not gonna happen. This is something that has to be understood in the trans community. That they are biologically something else. So there are gonna be certain biological traits that they can't escape. That's where the therapy comes in, okay? So that way the therapist, and I feel like there's a lot of lack of going to therapists because I feel like if they were to go to therapy, or most of them would go to therapy, they would find out that they have a different kind of mental condition, and one that revolves around a social issue, one that they need attention. There's a lot of them that do, and I'm telling you that that's gonna be a thing. There's gonna be a lot of people to have these, because yet again, gender dysphoria is really not hitting this many people. It's just not. And I feel like there's a good portion of therapists who are possibly even pushing it even further too, because they are pharmaceutical puppets themselves. So they're fine and dandy and trapping people into the pharmaceutical game. This isn't even tin hat theory shit. This about 7-8 years ago, I could have easily said that's tin hat theory shit, but that's not tin hat theory shit. That's shit that's very evident, very much fucking evident. Like there ain't no debating it anymore. Like at one point in time, it was debatable, and I was willing to entertain a debate about it. There's no debating. There's plenty of proof in the pudding now.
I made a really loud, yelly video about this, but I decided I will approach this in a more calm but stern manner. A lot of the people using kitty and pup and bunny self pronouns are neurodivergent minors. It is a very common neurodivergent experience to feel a disconnect from being human and from the societal expectation of the gender you were assigned at birth. So when you have this intersection of feeling a disconnect from being human and a disconnect from the societal expectation of gender, whether you're neurodivergent or not, a lot of people have this experience who are neurodivergent. It's just very common with neurodivergent people. When this intersects, you get noun self pronouns and animal noun self pronouns. If you are not comfortable using someone's pronouns because you assume it's kink for some weird ass reason, don't interact with them and just shut up about it.
Guess what, fuckers? My patient.
How about no? I don't want to shut up about it. Because most of you little fuckers aren't doing your due diligence to keep that shit away from children, or to keep adults away from children, or older minors away from very young minors, or pushing some dumbass sexuality bullshit and trying to age these minors up. That's the main thing that most people are upset about and get upset about left and right, is nobody wants fucking children to be played around with. Period. End of story. Leave children the fuck out of your bullshit. There is no such thing as neurodivergent fucking anything. Get a goddamn grip on yourself.
Patience is run out. Pansexuality is not inherently biphobic. They are both valid sexualities.
Infighting. Jesus fucking Christ. They can't be happy in any fashion. You give them an inch, they take a mile. They even have that saying within their own group. This is like nothing but, oh my goodness.
Both of them. And while yes, I have seen pansexual people use that label for questionable reasons, they pretty quickly get it once you explain things to them. They do. And not only that, but do you know who likes to use specific or micro labels? Neurodivergent people. Sometimes we just have to do whatever we can to feel safe and comfortable. And using a more specific label could be our outlet for that. If you took all that energy you spend calling people biphobic and saying they're performing bi erasure and just educated them, there would be less biphobia. There would be less bi erasure. Because you've explained it, and people will...
Oh yeah, apparently that most people in the newer age of the alphabet mafia, they don't like bisexual people, and the reason why they don't like bisexual people is because, guess what? The very definition of bisexual eliminates every ounce of their make-up bullshit. It just does. Everything that all these people are like, pansexual, that could be easily explained with bisexual. No matter how many times you try to give it any kind of other bullshit, be simply explained with bisexual. Quit trying to be a special. You're not. You're not fucking special. That's what all these fucking groups have formed anyway, is a whole bunch of people who did not get enough attention want to fucking be a part of a special group, and they have to form them a new one once another one's lost its hype. And the reason why most of these people hate bisexual is because, by the very fucking definition that is scientifically is actually scientifically accepted, eliminates all of these other bullshits. It's just it eliminates it all. It just eliminates everything, because it's the ultimate one. Like, you like both, and there ain't no other than both. There's only two. You can only like one or the other, and as much as that pisses people off, that is the cold hard facts, I guess.
Will know the difference. I've fucking had it with you guys.
So have I.
Is a sexual attraction, but still have a relationship. Queer platonic
gender and may encompass all genders at once. One very important thing to note, pangenders do not try to identify with
This looks like a
genders
bitch I went to
outside their
school
own
with, so I'm
cultures.
gonna skip
I
to
hope that
this.
helps
Just
Mom had to
because
do
I want to hear what this
asexual.
dodo brain
Just
looks.
something to keep in mind.
So I'm not an expert or an
Has to say.
authority on what neuroqueer means, but to
Oh boy, it actually looks almost identical. Because towards the end of my time around this particular person, she went through a weird stage where she looked like this. She looked like the bitch from Die Antwoord. And yep. This is just rich. What's going on here with this one? Neuroqueer. This person's replying to someone called Dobby's Krusty Cumsock. That caught my attention in the most funniest of ways.
simplify it and make it easier for you to understand, it's essentially on a base level, it's kind of where your neurodivergent identity and your queer identity, how they interact and intersect. This also extends to your other identities such as your race, your socioeconomic class, your ethnicity, etc., and how those things also interact and intersect with your neurodivergence and your queerness. And some ways that some people may practice being neuroqueer can range from theoretical thought experiments to social justice work methods. A good example may be something like deciding to represent your gender identity in an intentionally queer way.
I don't know if it's because she's got the fucking bullshit dimple piercings or what it is, but her speech sounds like she's forcing it to be something else or being forced to sound another way. And I literally would love to see Chuck Norris just come in and fucking kick the flying fuck out of her. And I don't even like Chuck Norris, to be honest with you. But just particularly Chuck Norris just fucking bust in the door and knock the flying fuck out of her. And then the coffin dance dudes can come in, you know? And carry her ass right the fuck on out, man. Because this is the worst type of person ever. Making up their own problems.
If there's no strong bond, it's not an option. Get to know me. I'm demisexual.
Big question is...
Yet again, bisexual would have ended that one. And that's why these people, cupiosexual, bisexuals, all these other goofy ass fucking look at me titles, they have a big beef with people who are bisexual and who continue to use the term bisexual. They have a big beef with them. And the main beef is bisexual, by definition, by the scientifically accepted definition, eliminates all of these other made up bullshit because these are just these are social constructs within, I would say, and the human population as a whole, 0.3%. This is not a big group of people, but they are big enough in certain places that they can dictate. And in those specific places, they get to dictate against other people's will, and then they disguise it through them supposedly obtaining some form of rights. And it's like, no, you already had rights. Now you got privilege. And if you think really long and hard about this, these people have absolute pure privilege to... They do. They have absolute pure privilege because they get to think and sit there all day long and not have to worry about anything else but worry about what pronoun they want to be called. They don't have to worry about shit but that pronoun. They get so butthurt over that pronoun that nobody called them. But there's places in this world where that you just be lucky if you fucking eat. Fuck these people. They're the first one to quickly tell me because of the color of my skin I have some kind of privilege, right? But yet they're over here making up this wild ass bullshit ass fucking pronoun game. Like the pronoun machine bitch. She just comes up with a new pronoun every fucking 10 seconds. And that's just not normal. It's not right. It's not right at all. Nobody should be out here making these kind of problems. And see, I've had to say this a million times because I feel like anybody who just sees this will instantly want to start being a judgmental person about how I'm viewing this. I'm viewing this through the lenses of an apolitical mind. I'm not fucking Democrat. I'm not Republican. I don't vote. I don't like this shit. I see it for what it is. It's a fucking rat race. It's a means to divide us all. And these social constructs are just catalysts of that division that's constantly growing because of who you gonna vote for this year. Bullshit. I can't get behind any of that, to be honest with you. It's just specifically because, and I'm not talking about the Libertarian Party because in nature they are egalitarian, but they still suffer from human flaws, like everything. That's the reason why I still feel like it's still an inherent authoritarian thing. Regardless, Democrat, Republican, they represent something that no longer represents us. Both of them. I'm not a fan of either one. But that being said, the ones that are the biggest problem, I do like to focus on. And right now, the ones being the biggest problems are those who are doing this wild ass bullshit. This is wild ass shit. It's just I honestly wish for those who truly are suffering from gender dysphoria to get the help that they need to get. And most of the time that involves a level of transitioning. Now, when the word transition, I'm not talking about mutating yourself, essentially, or chemically castrating yourself. I do mean, there's plenty of other things that can help along the way. But one of the biggest things is having a good therapy kind of thing, go on. Because there's a lot of mental things that you need to get across, for sure. For total sure. I'm more worried and see where I get angered the most is when people bring this upon children. And, teenagers, it starts it started like the whole sexuality thing starts like in the teenage years, and then goes up. But for kids, it should never be a topic. For like children who are still in elementary school, it shouldn't even be a topic. It's just not normal. And for it to be pushed onto kids, because I'm pretty sure. Let me see if because this is one of these videos that's probably on here.
That's the only real difference.
Sure.
Bye.
I never thought I would have the opportunity to make a video like this, but last week I came out of the closet as agender and queer. So I would like to officially reintroduce myself as Rowan. It's nice to meet all of you too.
Guys, let's talk sexuality, specifically asexual.
Oh goodness. Okay, I'm probably not going to find it. Probably not going to be enough.
For me, I feel like flooded with warmth. And when someone uses she for me, I'm like, I exist. I've been perceived. So, it's fine, especially if you're queer. But if you a straight person, I'm not a she to you.
That's okay. I won't acknowledge you as a fucking human at all. And that means you don't get human rights around me at all. I will look at you as human excrement, if anything. Because that snarky fucking little attitude. I don't like people like this, and this is the reason why I go out of my way to avoid people like this. And I like that they're loud enough and obnoxious enough to pretty much show who the fuck they are right off from at least a good mile away. You can fucking avoid them. So fuck this. My gender is just punk. You know what? If that's the case, my gender. You know what my gender is? My gender is Apache helicopter, and I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm gonna come.
I describe myself.
It's funny because I actually.
I'm gonna come.
I had it, and I was gonna use it, but I was like, nah. But yeah, this is just one of those videos that I'm never gonna laugh at this. I do cringe for some of the people around them, but not for them in any way, shape, or form. I just. Anyway.
Myself as agender because internally when I think of me, I don't associate me with any gender. And not in a way that's like, I could go any way, I'm cool.
Okay, whatever.
Patriarchy pushed them out of the binary by aging them up and masculinizing them. Non-binary people don't owe anybody androgyny, but it's interesting that we've also all seemed to land on there being one type of androgyny, and that it's...
You know, I'd like to see every last person that's in this video in a like singular debate around themselves, like, cause like about who they are and stuff and what everything that they've said, because everything that they've said, if it's not word for word the same, it's contradictory to what the other person is saying, who also is supposed to be that type of sexual. I am sorry. I won't feed into delusions in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like I need to give you guys a palate cleanser. So Let's look at a little bit of this only in New York.
Only in New York City. What is going on? Why is he up there?
It's Spider-Man. Alright, bro, if you're gonna have a banana dog, at least take the motherfucking peel off, man. Jesus. Okay. Anyway, that was enough of the palate cleanser. Alrighty. I am gonna do me a nice little dab. Because I need it. I totally need it. I'm in desperate need. That's my palate cleanser right now. It's this dab. This dab right here is going to be my palate cleanser. And then I'm going to call it a night because, my lord, someone inspired this particular reaction tonight. And I felt compelled to do it because of this particular person. They're not going to ever see it, or I don't think they would. But it was just something I felt the need to do because a lot of this delusion that people are getting in their heads is socially damaging. And a lot of these people who are seeking this are the first people to be damaged once things start coming undone. So, I highly suggest people strap on the normality glasses back again and kind of start doing things the way they're supposed to do, and basing things in a place of logic. That's all most people are speaking on. Like, I get it. There are some really weird religious nuts out here, and those people are just as bad as the people who are, being absolutely crazy on the left. I have nothing but disdain for them too. But we really have to start coming from a place of logic. And neither far sides are in the realm of logic in any way. That's all I'm saying. Cheers. Anyway, I'm your main man, Mikey D. Be sure to hit that thumbs up. I am out. Peace.